I'm going to be talking about a topic today that I wasn't originally planning to talk about, but about midway through this past week, it's something that's really been dominating my study time and on my heart a lot lately. And it's one of these cases where, like a lot of things, it's an issue that gets ignored, and we really, when we deal with this particular subject, we kind of stand back. We don't want to have to deal with it. And that's the issue of slavery in the Bible. And like most issues, translation has been done erroneously, and as a result of that, we tend to miss this great truth that I've uncovered. Now, before I start into this, I want to let you all know, this is one of the things I'm going to be talking about is something that you probably won't find anywhere else. Knock doesn't teach on it as far as I've been able to find. None of the guys that we tend to look to have. So I would encourage you from the outset, study this topic on your own in depth. Search it out in the scriptures for yourself. So with that being said, slavery. You know, there are a lot of truths in the Bible that people have a really hard time grasping. And Clyde's talk and the nature of sin and part of God's perfect plan is going to tie in perfectly with this, with slavery, as one of those things we look at and we say, well, this is obviously sinful. This is an atrocity. How can we make any sense out of this? We look at God commanding Israel to destroy to every man, woman, child in Canaan. How can that be a righteous act? We look at Sodom and Gomorrah, the flood, everyone but Noah's family being destroyed. How can these things tie in any way to a just and holy and loving God? Slavery is right up there with all those other issues. We can't help as modern Americans but think of slavery in an awful light. When we think of slavery, we think of African Americans being enslaved leading up to the Civil War and the brutal treatment that went on with slave owners. Slaves being treated terribly, inhuman, being murdered. They weren't given any kinds of rights or freedoms at all.